Let's go ahead and start the night off with a round of initiative preemptively, so I don't have to do it later.
I was like, wait, what? What did we do?
Alright, we've got a 12.
Happening? What did I miss? What are we fighting? Are we finally killing Kluroki?
We're thinking about it.
Whoa. We're not killing me yet.
Hey, natural 20. Take that, Kluroki.
Oh.
Yeah.
22.
Alright. What'd you get, Kluroki?
18.
Oh, you're screwed now.
Faker, what'd you get?
6.
6. So quick. Them reflexes. Alright. Oh, jeez, Louisa. So, Fagrin and his merry men took their way out to the Iron Sea, where they encountered a massive ship in the shadow of a giant tower. The massive ship was manned by none other than Next Voyeur, a very savvy pirate captain, or whaler, you could call him, with a proposition. He happened to have a ship that was missing, along with her captain. And in payment for retrieving said ship, 3 barrels of whale oil, which would be used for glassing a ship. However, he mentioned that if the captain were also retrieved, that offer would be doubled, which would be plenty to glass either of your 2 ships in your fleet. With this said promise, the last lead was that she was retrieving some along the lines of a wardrobe for Nex. He's in the need of some new dress. That was your only clue. Getting there, you meet Timothy Thimblestitch, a gnomish tailor who worked on the island of Lucherna. Between these candles, this little gnome didn't have much of a business, although he had a proposition. If you would take his sponsorship in the sheesh match, he could get famous, you all could get rich, and you could even maybe find out a little bit more about Rhonda. After doing said tournament and winning at great success, surprise to everyone on the island, you guys won a pretty large amount of gold, and also earned the trust of little Timothy. Timothy told you that Rhonda helped him smuggle goods, but the last job went south, and she was on the run, hiding from Nyx and the wrath that he would probably bestow upon her for failing the mission and losing him a large sum of gold. Now you know Rhonda to be hidden somewhere on this island, along with the boat, most likely. Your only lead between these 2 points is that she might be somewhere by the temple, which you know the Templars nearby have a pilgrimage they make every month to go up there between the candles and do whatever it is that they do up there. You have a second lead. This would be the rendezvous point where Timothy and Rhonda would often meet and do their smuggling deeds. You have decided between those 2 points that you would rather go to the rendezvous point because cultists are cultists. Why would you want to talk to them? So that is where we begin. It's about right at midday on the 16th of Cloudscatter. You guys just step out of the Broken Barrel. As Robo explains that he will have the barrels delivered this afternoon, and you have plenty of crewmen waiting on the docks to help unload it. And those crewmen would be Schroeder and Swipes, who are the only people on the Red Herring. Everyone else has been out in the bay on the Twilight's Revenge. So this is where we begin. We are in the southwest end of Clayton, just on the outskirts of the town. Floki has the map of the town and a rough sketch of Timothy's map, which would guide you to the rendezvous point, which is just further west outside of the town.
And we still have a couple of days until the Federation arrives?
Yep, you still have 2.5 days technically, because you have today
Okay.
and then tomorrow and the next day.
Hey, Floki. Did you draw a good map of where we're going?
Well, the rendezvous should just be outside of town, right? So that should be pretty easy to find. We might want to check in with Timothy and see if I can get a better map of the. He had a pretty good map of the Isle. I might want to see if I can get a better. The one I took is a bit rudimentary. If we want to hunt down the headquarters of the cult, so I might want
Okay.
to stop in with him.
Well, let's go see Timothy then. He likes us.
Did we get a description of what the rendezvous point looked like outside of town to the west?
No, he just said it's a rendezvous point, and Floki has a pretty dang good idea of where it is.
We could probably identify it by the corpses, because last time we heard there was a lethal ambush there.
Let's go take a look.
So where are we going? I've heard conflicting information.
To the rendezvous point.
Oh, I thought we were going to go to Timothy's first. Are we going to go to the rendezvous point?
Because we're
Floki
already...
want to go.
That's what I
Floki-
thought we agreed on, was we were going to the rendezvous point.
Yeah, but Floki just suggested going back to Timothy's and get more information before we go.
I don't know if that's something we need to role play out, just like it's kind of a minor bookkeeping thing. Could I go and hunt down Timothy and sort of swipe more of his map? Non-stealingly?
Yeah, give me a persuasion check real quick, though.
Persuasion? I'm so persuasive. Let's find out. That's an 8.
He doesn't let you. He kind of mumbles to himself and rambles about how it's really important to him that he keeps it. If he does give you more details about what it's like, he mentions that the ship would actually come up and dock in this location between the jungle, and he's got a little dock port there, and he holds up a lantern and places it in the window, and says that you'll be able to see the lantern from here. And he mentions that they use that lantern to signal each other whenever it's coming back and forth. So he holds up a lantern to the window, and he kind of points out the window, which is like this. It's because you're kind of up on this higher elevation, and he kind of points down in this valley, in between the trees, and he says, "Right over there is where we met." And then, like as you look out there, go ahead and give me a perception check too.
Oh, I'm very perceptive. Not rolling amazing though. 12.
With the 12, what you happen to notice is it is a valley between, like there's this trees that go down after the edge of the town. There's trees, and then it goes down in this valley, and the trees go back up the other side, and then on, like up above that is where the catapults and trebuchets are. So like that's where you can actually see from here with the 12. You see some tents and stuff where there's like soldiers posted out there. Those are just the protection of the bay and whatnot, but yeah, it's like in this valley, hidden in the trees, is where he says the rendezvous point is. And he says that if you hold up a lantern from that point, then you'll be able to see it in this window, and that's how they communicated. But no one else would be able to really tell that you're in there because it's kind of deep in the trees.
All right, sounds like a plan. Let us rendezvous.
All right, so you guys kind of head out that way. I'm guessing that Floki's kind of taking the lead, since you have like a general idea of where it is.
Hey, if you want Tolu to lead, he'll go. He'll lead too.
I am the legendary navigator Floki the Lost. I'm sure I can handle it.
All right, go ahead and give me a survival check at advantage.
All right, let's see. Sometimes I can survival. Roll. The dice are not with me tonight. That's a 7.
So as you kind of get out there, you guys kind of walk out of the town. The cobblestone streets slowly turn into unpaved earth, which slowly turns into thick vegetation. As you guys kind of walk into this area, you can hear the insects are pretty loud, and you feel this thick, heavy humidity kind of envelop you as you get deeper into this jungled area. The the further in you go, the more various sounds you hear of creatures nearby. Everyone go ahead and give me a perception check.
14.
13.
9.
Nat 20
Oh man.
plus
so,
plus 2. Oh, it's not as much as I thought.
so Tulu, you get excited when you hear these sounds of birds calling. They kind of sound like parrots and macaws. Floki, you can hear them too, but you hear them much clearer. They sound a little raspier to you. You think maybe they might be sick. Clue, you also have this inclination that something might be wrong with the birds in the area. And then Fagrin, you know, because you have seen these before, you have encountered them before, though we have not actually played through them. These are not just birds. These are flying monkeys. Very mischievous, and can be a nuisance. They can infest ships and actually pillage the food supplies of ships if not dealt with properly. Reproducing pretty rapidly. They fly around on docks and it can be pretty annoying. And you can hear what sounds like a variety of them. Some of them are larger than others, but you do recognize the sounds of flying monkeys nearby.
Everyone, tighten your belts and fasten your tunics. There's monkey birds about.
Birds?
Aye, monkey birds. They steal things and cause trouble at port.
I'd like to meet one of these monkey birds. They sound fun. Do I see any other small animals around?
You can go ahead and give me one more perception check. Kind of look around.
15.
15. As you look around, you don't happen to see any creatures, but what you do see are large footprints. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Ooh, 19 plus 6 on that. So, 19.
As you're looking at these footprints, you, Tulu, you know beasts and monsters and mixes thereof. You can tell by the way these footprints walk that there is a certain intelligence to them. They look almost like that of a dog or a large canine, but they're much larger. And whatever it is smart. They avoid different routes, and as they're walking through them, you are able to see that they kind of scurry up trees. You see claw marks on the trees. And as you kind of look around, you get the inclination that whatever these things are, they're predators.
Hey guys, see these footprints over here? Go ahead, Mason.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay. See these footprints here? They're kind of dogs or something. They're pretty smart, and they climb up trees and all kinds of stuff. So we better watch out for them. You want to try to sneak through this? I got a little spell to help us sneak if we need to.
Aye, you could do that spell, and Fagrin takes out his rapier and a pistol as well. And I think we should slow our pace down and be careful.
All right.
Yeah, I take out my magic. You gave me the magic sword, right? Or one of the magic swords.
Yes, I did.
All right, yeah. I take out my magic sword, which should be attuned to me by now.
Oh yeah.
Are there any animals within viewing distance?
Not that Tulu saw. Tulu was looking around pretty thoroughly. He didn't see anything.
All right.
All right.
And I'll cast Pass Without Trace.
All right. Everyone, go ahead and give me a stealth check. Plus 10.
27.
29.
Right.
A measly 21.
All right. Kleroki, what'd you get?
18.
All right. As you guys kind of meander through the woods, Fagrin suggests slowing down, and as you do, you're able to kind of avoid larger brush and the thicker parts of the woods where you would actually stir up a lot of noise. Floki nimbly guides his way through these thick foliages. Floki, go ahead and give me another navigation check.
Could I suppose it wouldn't help if I've already got advantage, but could I send Key up above for a bird's eye view of my surroundings?
Yes. With that, go ahead and give me a perception check instead. And yeah, and then we'll get some extra information in addition.
My perception check or Key's?
Keys.
All right.
Or actually, make it your choice. Your choice. I don't know.
All right. Mine's slightly higher, but we're both good at it. I got a 22.
All right. With the 22, Key's able to get up. And she sees the dock in between the trees, just a couple 100 feet ahead of you. She's also able to see what looks like a large outpost tower, a stone structure, probably about 2 stories tall. And through her eyes, you're able to see there's like 2 or 3 what look like the Templars, these large men in green armor, that kind of meandering about at the tower. But with that, you definitely see it just a couple feet ahead, and you're able to navigate your way there. As you kind of lead the way, slowly but surely, between the trees, you're able to find what is clearly this roughly made dock. You can see that it is worn, and you can see it's probably made by someone who's not a carpenter. This person doesn't really know how to make woodworking, but it stretches up about 15 feet outward into the air, and you can see on it is this large post, and on the post is a large hook. You would probably recognize this as where the lantern to be hung. As you kind of approach the area, you can also see there's these large kind of out through the soil in the area. You can see that these large ruts kind of come up next to the dock and kind of run out the other way.
Is this dock on land? I mean, is it is it in the water?
It's on land.
Okay.
You're like, I'd say you're probably a quarter of a mile into the jungle at this point.
Well, I think we found the spot. I don't know what we want to do now.
Are there signs of battle?
Let's see. I think if you go up on the deck, you'll be able to see some more stuff. But from where you are, there doesn't look to be anything. You can see mostly just lots of thick shrubs from where you are, and you can see the dock that kind of steps up over it. I mean, you can have Key fly up there too if you don't want to.
I'll wait expectantly for the captain to issue orders.
So we see the 2 Templars that we think are Templars, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the Templars are something that Key saw from a distance. I'd say they're probably 500 feet, be cardinal directions. Be to the further west.
But we don't see them.
But you don't see them. They're not nearby.
Okay, so we don't see anything. Like we're still in the woods.
Right. I think Floki would have directed the information outward.
Okay.
I'm communicating everything. I think I'm under the impression we're at the rendezvous, basically. Is that untrue?
No, that's correct.
Yeah, we're there. We have arrived, everyone.
Tulu looks around and says, well, I don't see Rhonda anywhere around here. I don't know.
Did Floki mention the thing about the lantern?
Yes.
Did I misunderstand that it's a 2-way operation and you shine the lantern the other way?
That's how they communicated when they're bringing goods and smuggling goods. But I mean, you can tell that obviously you don't have any goods to smuggle to Timothy. So I mean, you could signal him if you'd like to let him know you're here, but it's also in the middle of the day, so whether or not he's going to notice that you even lit a lantern.
What does it look like these 2 people are doing? Are they men? So we know we know about Key now. Like that's another.
Nope. Floki just told you. I mean, he could have explained it to you, but I imagine Floki just kind of tells you this information as he's walking, looking at it.
Yeah, he's just kind of like he just kind of looks like he's sort of straining off in the distance, kind of moving his head side to side, like he's looking through the trees, and he goes, "Yeah, there's like a kind of an outpost, like a stone structure, this a ways, and there's some of those Templar guys at it."
What does it look like
Wow.
they're doing?
Standing, sometimes sitting. I think it's a bit far away, but I think they exist. I don't think they're doing anything. They're just kind of. It seems like a guard post, you know.
Go ahead and give me an insight check with either your or Key's stats.
Right. Hey, look at me. I roll and all of a sudden when I don't care about it. 21.
You actually, you're pretty familiar with what gambling looks like. It looks like they're gambling with each other.
Can I tell which one is winning?
It looks like the smaller one is winning.
I knew it.
We can't. Let's see. We've already done a perception check. It wouldn't do any good to take some time.
We
Yeah,
could
I
enter the rendezvous point. We're outside right now.
you guys are kind of like, I'd say about 25, 30 feet away from the actual point. You guys are kind of looking outward at this dock that kind of stretches up into the air, up above the trees. All right, that's what you're looking at, but you haven't gone up there yet. It's like a wooden dock that is poorly constructed that stretches up into the trees and outwards. All right,
Okay.
so like it goes up above the tree line where there's a lamppost basically that would go back up and signal to up on the hill where Timothy's shop is. All right, so you guys are kind of under the tree line in the thick of bushes. From where you are, you can tell in front of you, about 20 feet in front of you, is this large rut in the ground where there is soil that has been upturned that kind of travels from your left in front of the dock to your right, and it just continues. So, like, from where you are, there's not much to look at because there's all this foliage and, like, greenery just surrounding your view. But you could climb up on the dock and get a better view of what's surrounded you.
Okay.
Loki, I think you must be part druid. You got eyes like an eagle. How'd you ever see something like that?
A lot of carrots.
I'd always heard that. Carrots. Onions as well.
And rabbits.
Rabbits are pretty.
So are carrots.
Hey, y'all want me to go talk to those two guys gambling? Did you told us about the gambling, I assume?
I know. I think I probably would have kept that to myself. It just seems so unimportant.
Okay.
But no, we should definitely not talk to the guards while we investigate smuggling. That seems like a bad idea. Just like putting that out there.
Well, I think we should investigate the rendezvous site. I'm in.
Yeah.
We're still slowly and carefully moving into the rendezvous site. We're going to check the area like carefully and take our time to do it. That's what we're here to do.
All right, everyone go ahead, or everyone who's going to go up there, go ahead and give me a stealth check again.
$30.
15.
Nice.
14.
Okay.
You've got plus 10.
Yeah, you have plus 10 to yeah, because it's faster other trays.
24.
I was gonna say Fagrin's a lot less stealthy than I thought.
So Mason's staying back?
Mason, yeah, are you staying back, Mason?
No, I'm going with. I got 26.
Okay. All right. As you all go up there, you've all been across multiple thousands of times docks. You know where the squeaky boards are. You're able to nimbly navigate your way up. You can see there's a couple holes in it where it just fallen through, where it wasn't nailed together properly. But you climb your way up. Once you get up here, it's very clear to see this large rut. Figuring you automatically would know this. This is the exact dimensions of a keel of a ship. You see this like where a keel of a ship would have been dragged through the ground. It goes from your left or it'd be your right into the jungle. And if you follow it in front, it comes right up to the dock and goes back out the other way. And you can actually watch it go all the way out to a bay where it kind of sinks back into the ocean. But this is well, like I'd say probably 600 or 700 feet inland. So you can tell that this is a large rut that this ship made on land and continues into the jungle.
Okay. It came from sea into the jungle, making the rut.
Yes.
Aha. Okay.
And you can tell that the rut is very open and exposed and a bit deeper up into the dock point. But once it passes the dock point, it's very shallow. As if to say that the ship has come up and back multiple times, but it's only probably a few times ever gone further.
This is the rendezvous point.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like it's ever, very often gone further, and it doesn't look like it's gone further recently. Like there are not bent young tree shoots and things like that. I
would say Fagrin is the only one that would be able to make this. I'm actually going to call it a sailor's check. Go ahead and
Eye of telling tides. I can, when I ask about specific details about a ship and where it's been on perception or history, I can add my sailor dice to it.
All right. Go ahead and do that.
Okay. Did we ever get... hip. Did we get a inspiration? No, I don't think I... No.
Someone else might have one if they want to offer it.
I'll give you mine.
Oh, really? Oh, no, it's okay. And I will use a sailor dice, because I said I was going to. Here it goes. 19.5, that's a 24.
All right. What's your wisdom modifier?
19.5, 24 plus wisdom. Oh, crap. What's the check? Is history.
Just wisdom. Okay, that works. History.
It's 2 anyway.
Okay. So 26 total?
Yeah.
All right. With the 26, you are extremely confident that this ship would have been the Barracuda. The dimensions match the ship described to you by Nex. You could tell that this ship is you're 90% sure that this ship was a glassed ship, because there's no way a normal ship would be able to make it up this far.
Right.
As you look at it, you can tell that it isn't even damp. The soil here is extremely dry. Needless to say, it's like only a magical ship could go this far. But whenever you're looking at it, you can also tell that the rut is so shallow past this point that it's probably only made that journey once.
Okay. Does it look like that was recent? For example, you said because it looks like it's only gone past that point once. Does it look like they're beyond the rut, that there's freshly overturned mud in that direction, that there's young tree shoots that are bent over, that it looks like recently it's been through there? Or does it look like it's been a while?
I would say it's hard to tell exactly, although it does look fairly recent. With the 26, you're confident in your inclination that it was recent, but you're not really quite sure exactly how recent.
Listen, you see this rut here, and see how it continues on. This is the ship we are looking for. I think it has gone that way. If only we had some way of quickly going ahead to see if it was there.
Well, if only somebody had a broom that could fly, or a shepherd's crook, but...
Exactly. If only we had something that someone could fly.
Wait, real quick, we don't see any small animals, do we?
You don't. You can go ahead and give me one more. You can do perception or nature check.
Don't
be a
worry.
terrible way to die.
I rolled a 3.
From what you see, you do actually get this strange sense as you're looking around that there is a strange lack of small creatures around, which is an intuition that Tulu would have, that there are large predators in the area.
Okay, so if I fly ahead just to check, guys, this spell I put on you, it stays with me, so you won't be sneaking very much anymore. Is that okay? Or we all want to sneak ahead?
I think you should see if that's our ship that we're looking for ahead, Tulu. The rest of us, we can We can manage quite fine.
Okay. Tulu kind of looks back, not flexes, but stretches, grabs his crook, shepherd's crook, puts it between his legs.
Like we haven't seen this big shepherd's crook on this little gnome this whole time. Like, but
Nope.
but then all of a
Tucked in
sudden
his
just like,
backpack.
yeah.
And I put it between my legs and I kind of smack it like I'm smacking it on the back.
All right.
And I'm like, what's it? I was never told a command word for it. Would I have known that when I attuned to it?
You would be able to choose one when you attune to it.
Ah. Tulip. Tulips.
All right, you smack it with the call of tulips. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check as you smack the air behind you.
And, assuming he survives this, I'll send Key along with him.
All right, she was already on his shoulder.
That's right.
I wonder my shoulders. 15.
With a 15, no one else hears it, but Tulu, you hear the faint sound of a horse's neigh as you're able to fly up outwards. The rest of you kind of see this hint of a green tinge of light come off the trail behind him as he shoots up in the air. You're about 30 feet up in the air now. You can see the outpost that Floki talked about to your left, and to your right you also see this rut that you were meant to follow.
I'll follow the rut.
All right. You follow it for about 100 feet. You see there are these trees that are knocked over that kind of go off. Looks like probably a square of this jungle. Trees are just smushed flat.
You cut out on this. Say it again, Jake.
Okay, you see this 100 by 100 foot area of trees. They're just completely smushed flat off to your right. But as you travel about 100 feet down the path, there's no sign of a ship. You can continue if you'd like.
I will continue.
All right. As you continue, you see more of these trees that are just knocked over and smushed completely flat. They look to be in a pathway of sorts. You also see, as you travel further down, you see pieces of lumber and scaffolding, parts of buildings strung about in the jungle. You see these large portions of roofs just plop down in the middle of the jungle. You see large boulders just plop down in the middle of the jungle. As you travel about another 100 feet down, there's still no sign of a boat. This rut just keeps continuing. However, as you get further inward, you can see off in the distance, you are getting closer to one of the candles. This large structure that looked like a volcano from the great distances, but the closer you get to it, the more it looks like a cylindrical tower. And the more the hue of the stone turns to a white color. It looks more and more like a candle the closer you get to it. You also get this strange sense of an energy. You feel this vibration in the air. But as you travel down, there's still no sign of a ship. Would you like to continue?
Yes.
All right, you travel about another 100 feet down. The rest of you are all kind of waiting back on the dock, anxiously awaiting. But Floki, you're kind of able to see everything that Tula sees through Key's eyes.
Is there anything, out of curiosity, is there anything is there anything worth investigating on or around the docks? Are there any boxes or items or is it just a wooden structure?
There is a crate at the end of the dock, yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll go assume that won't explode. And
Okay.
I would like to attempt to investigate it. Can I?
Okay.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can do that. Vagrant, you look like you're thinking about something. Is there something you want to do?
I've been confused, so I'm trying to imagine these things. So there's this wooden dock away from the city. We're like 3/4 of a mile away from the city.
Yep.
Like to inspect
Just
it.
in the middle of the woods.
Middle of the
Yep.
woods.
Yep.
Like that city in World of Warcraft on the bottom of the eastern continent.
I don't know World of Warcraft, so.
The Goblin City?
The pirate city. Because there's the wooden dock that just goes out into the air in the middle of nowhere.
imagine a bridge, right? Like a bridge that is, say, 400 feet long. This is like half a bridge that just ends in the
Right.
sky.
Right.
You would know that this would be like the perfect height to like be at a ship's deck
Right.
if the ship were on land, because ships are much deeper on land than they are.
And
on the sea.
this dock out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, vacant.
Yes.
The stone stone structure with the two
Yes.
Templars further off, way off in the distance,
It's
up the ridge
closer to
line,
the sea.
because we have the
It's-
valley, and then you've got this rut, and then the dock, and then up on the ridge line with the catapults and two Templars and a stone structure.
So I'll try to picture this map a little bit better for you. So let's say you are facing west. All right. To your southwest, like further in that direction, is the ridge line where you see the catapults up on the hill. Directly west is the rut that leads into the bay and into the ocean. So slightly northwest is where the tower is located. All right. So
Okay.
from where you are,
All three
if you-
different things.
all three different things to your
Okay.
west. If you follow this rut, it leads north, like due north into the island.
Okay.
And that's where the rut leads. But behind you, to your east, is where the town is.
How far away is the stone structure?
I'd say about 500 feet. I think 500 feet is what I decided.
Oh, that doesn't seem that far. Okay,
It's
so
not
we're not
far,
going to lose.
but through this jungle, you can't really see it unless you're up on this dock. Once you're up on the dock,
yeah.
you can see it.
Oh,
But when
man.
you're in a thick jungle, you can't really quite see it. But
Okay.
you know it's there, so if
We-
you
we
want to,
have
like,
to
try
stay
to make a
put.
quick map to do that. Okay.
If we go up there, we could lose two.
Okay.
So we got to stay put.
So, Floki, you're looking at this box. Mason, what are you doing? I'm
You're not
sorry.
really
your,
coming in.
your mic is cutting in and out really bad. Maybe try like turning it off and back on again, or unplug it and plug it back in.
I
Or
appreciate the
you can
deadpan delivery there at Wise
Sorry.
Advice.
Sorry. All right. While he's doing that, let's. Oh, hello.
You hear me?
Oh, there we go. Try again.
Hello?
Okay, you're still cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep an eye out, keep guard, keep
Okay. All right, you're keeping.
you know,
guard.
keep an eye to our rear, to the sides, make sure nothing's sneaking up while we're on this dock.
All right.
Because there's obviously some kind of predator around here that's I don't want to sneak up on us.
All right. Go ahead, give me a perception check, and Floki, go ahead and give me that investigation check.
That is a nat 1 on perception.
That's
Fantastic.
a natural 20 on investigation.
Oh my goodness.
Look at me rolling high when I don't care.
You open this crate, and it's empty besides a logbook.
Awesome.
The logbook is just filled with times that are hatched out. Just filled to the brim with times. Most of them seem to be like 6:30, 7:30. You see ones for AM and PM. 6:30, 7:30, 6:30, 7:30, 6:30, 7:30, all the way down. They're in this alternating group. You can basically tell these are ins and outs. Just scratched out. It's like I'd say it's probably like 500, 600 pages of just this exact same times just scratched out, as if someone were
Jeez, that's
keeping
a lot of
record.
pieces of paper.
It is.
Is there
That
a
are
most
roof.
recent date that I can determine?
Yes, you can tell the most recent date is 2 days ago. You can also tell
Wow.
adjacent to this crate with your natural 20, you also find a small leather pouch.
What's in the leather pouch?
It is filled to the brim with glass marbles. Perfectly mundane glass marbles.
Completely see-through, nothing like interesting.
They are plain glass, well, with a slight hue of like a teal color, but like in a simple way of glass. They're not pure clear. They do have like a slight blue hue, but they are plain glass marbles.
But we'll take the glass marbles, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so this logbook, it has a lot of entries in the ledger, and according to it, the last But the last delivery that this ledger interacted with was 2 days ago, which I think is way more recently than when Rhonda went missing, which is highly curious.
Aye. So we're waiting on Tulu.
Yep. Back to Tulu. Tulu,
right.
as you continue, you get closer to this tower. As you realize that this rut kind of almost circumnavigates this large. I'm sorry, I used the word tower. I meant the word say candle. As you pass the candle, it looks to be in a weird way that it gets closer and closer, as if they are using it to navigate. And it kind of banks around it and heads a little bit to the east. From this point, you can feel this pressure, almost like a change in temperature coming from the candle, which makes it hard to think clearly. But whatever you're looking towards, the rut, as it goes further, you do see a structure out probably about a mile into the jungle. You can see it over this, where the elevation kind of lowers a little bit, and from up in the air, you can actually see this large structure that you would think is probably the temple.
And that's the direction the ruts are continuing to go towards?
Yes, yes.
Okay. With that, and since when I started feeling a little that sensation being around the cylindrical tower, or whatever you call the candle, I'm going to go ahead and turn back.
Okay.
And
you turn back and head back that way?
Yeah.
You guys all kind of wait eagerly, probably about another 5 to 6 minutes as Tulu finally arrives back. You kind of hear this like almost glistening sound, but it also kind of just sounds like the wind as you hear him kind of approaching over the trees, until finally you see him kind of perch back over.
I pull my crook out, and I kind of rub it, say, good boy, and I tell the crew about what I saw, everything from the rooftops, in the forest, the candle tower, whatever you call it, and then the structure further to the east, that they may have been using that as the candle tower as a waypoint or something for navigational purposes. So I just relay all that info and told them that it looks like the ship is going, went to the candle and then turned right or turned east and then went toward this other place out about a mile out. So I didn't go any further than that, because when I got around that candle or the tower, it had this weird feeling. Something's not right over there.
Here's an interesting question. For the Dungeon Master, did I recognize that feeling? Was it similar to what I experienced through Key on the ship that exploded?
I'd like Key to roll an insight check.
All right, let's find out if that's the thing she has.
What is the current day in the calendar of the Mythic Isles?
It's still the 16th. It's
16th
midday
of
of the 16th.
Cloud Scatter?
Yes. In the 73rd year of the Green Age.
She rolled a 13.
With a 13, it's very difficult for her to comprehend this feeling. With a 13, she gets the feeling it's different. Or similar, but not the same.
All right.
With the path I flew over, I kind of went one direction, and then they got to the candle, and then it, went to the east. If I drew a straight line from where we started, where we're all currently at, to the structure that I think the ship went to, what did that terrain look like?
It was pretty thick jungle. Like, this whole area is just pretty thick jungle. The whole island, besides the town itself, is pretty thick jungle, with these large candles kind of jut out of it.
But if we followed the rut, it looks like it's clear enough that we could go
if you walked in the actual rut, you could probably walk clearly through it.
Okay.
But it's like I'd say it's probably a 10-foot like gully that's kind of dug out in the soil. So you could like walk through that as if it were a road, or you could navigate either which way. You've basically seen which way you're going now, so you can follow the rut, or you can try to make a straight shot through it. Either way, it's you're navigating through wilderness. So.
What do you think, boss man?
How far was that structure?
A mile.
That's what I heard you say, a mile. So a mile is just going to take us in jungle an hour if we're careful and slow. So let's go.
All right, you gonna follow the rut or not?
Yeah, we got to find this. We got to find this ship. Let's follow the rut.
All right, Floki, go ahead and give me a navigation check at advantage.
Right. What is a navigation check?
It's your wisdom plus your proficiency.
Wisdom plus proficiency. Hey, look at that. Oh, wait, you said at advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me always rolling the same thing on advantage rolls. 21.
All right, with a 21, you're able to kind of lead the way. And there's a part where the rut kind of gets shallower as these tree roots get in the way, as if the ship like climbed over them. And it kind of gets to this point where it was difficult to check which way it went. But with Tulu's scout ahead that you saw through Key's eyes, you're able to follow the rut as it furthers downward over some rockier terrain where it would have been otherwise nearly impossible to navigate through until eventually it falls back into softer soil and you're able to continue. As you guys all continue, you feel the sun down at you at probably 1 in the afternoon. The humidity is really dense. You hear the sounds of cicadas clicking in the heat of the sun, and eventually you get to this point where you all can hear the sound of running water. And as you follow the sound of running water, you kind of almost get this weird sense of being out of place. The rut continues and it gets shallower and shallower until it disappears. Tulu, you would know from your scout ahead that you were getting very close to the temple, and it's probably not much further.
Okay, the stone structure that was a mile out. We're almost there.
Yes.
Okay. Question, and I don't know the answer to this. When you cast Pass Without Trace, and I come back to the group, does that engage them with that spell?
What I would need to know is how long the spell lasts.
1 hour.
Then yeah.
Is it concentration?
Yes, it's concentration.
Then wouldn't you lose it when you cast Fly?
He doesn't cast Fly. He has a Flying Crook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
You're okay. That was a good catch. Yeah, your spell is going to last for probably another 10 minutes or so.
Okay. So they're covered under now, even though I left and then I came back. So now they're covered under it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're within range. Yeah.
Okay, so this strange feeling, has Vagrant ever felt this before, or is it familiar? Like,
you can give
what is it?
Give me a history, arcana, or insight check.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just muttering.
I was just gonna see if I can use Divine Sense to see if I can detect anything good or evil.
All right. You'll have to remind me what all Divine Sense covers. It's a bunch
The
of things, but not
hallowed
everything.
spell.
Right.
I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, find, or undead within 60 feet.
You feel this strong, almost overwhelming sense as you kind of extend your mind outward to feel what's nearby. You feel this almost overwhelming, this crushing presence of a celestial nearby. You almost feel that whenever you reach out to it, it snatches a part of your mind and clutches it tightly, and you almost lose breath. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Kuroki's getting sick again.
Yep, I'm getting sick. I rolled a 7.
With a 7, you, for a moment, feel your breath taken away, as if like sucked out from your lungs. You fall to your knees, and then immediately you feel it comes back to you. The sound of rushing water gets overwhelmingly louder to all of you. It feels weird. You feel this jolt as if you move further than you wanted to, as if the feet, as if the earth beneath your feet shifts. All of you can hear the sound of rushing water, and we're gonna go ahead and.
Kuroki, are you okay?
There's some kind of celestial around here. It's very, very powerful.
A celestial? You mean something of the gods?
Yes.
I'm glad you asked that.
I have this strange feeling.
All right.
What would you say?
I'm glad figuring you asked what celestial was, because I really didn't know.
Fagrin, what'd you get in your check?
7.
Which one did you pick?
Insight.
You cannot put your finger on this. It feels different. You remember different things in your past, roughly. You remember being next to Cowhawk as you guys look at cards in the Crystal Caverns below the city of Kyphus, and you also remember being at the altars at Raventop. And between these two things, you don't know exactly what it is, but you do feel a very similar strangeness. It's almost like a deja vu, but in a feeling that it's hard to express. It's almost like a ambient vibration that you can feel only like in your skin, but then whenever you go to touch where it feels that you feel it, it immediately evaporates.
This feeling, did we get it more around the cylindrical tower or the temple?
Tulu, you can give me an Arcana or Nature check.
Nature, sure. 21.
With a 21 Nature check, you would be able to tell that this is very different from that. You get this sense of whatever is coming from the candle is very much an elemental feeling. Whatever is coming from this thing is a presence of a creature. In a way that a snake would hiss, and in a way to ward off threats or intimidate its prey. You get this feeling that something extremely large and powerful is making its presence known.
Ooh, guys, I'll relay all that information back to them in a nervous manner.
Before you guys, you actually see, as you continue a little bit further, you can actually see where the water itself is kind of carving its way through the jungle, and over top of this rushing water is this thick algae that's kind of built up, and you can see that on top of this thick algae, it's been dried, as if it's been here for a long time. But this thick algae in the middle of this rushing water creates a bridge over this river, basically. Here, let's see if I can do this. Let's see
If we are physically close to it, I would like to touch the river with my hand.
All right. So before you can actually see this like thick bridge of algae, and you want to go ahead and touch the water, you can. You can go ahead and move your token over there.
All right. Let's see. Give it a touch.
All right. What's your intent by touching the water?
So legend has it, stories passed down through Floki's family, matrilineally, say that water is wet.
Mm-hmm.
And Floki would like to use his hand to test that theory in this particular instance. His intention is to find out if the water kills him.
All right. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Oh man, so intelligent. My rolls are hilarious today. 17.
With a 17, You do get wet. In fact, as you put your hand into the water, it's almost pulled away by the strong current that goes from your left to your right. You can tell as you touch it that it is moving quite quickly. It is chilly to the touch. You can also tell just by touching it and the way that it almost foams and froths at your touch that it is indeed seawater. It kind of rushes past.
What temperature is it? It occurs to me this is an interesting question.
It is the same temperature you would imagine seawater is. It is chilled and refreshing, but not like bitter cold.
Fascinating. So it's not been heated by the candles then. All right, I'll get up and I'll sort of shake off my hand and I'll say, guys, the water is wet and thoroughly disinterested.
Right. Well, we should continue on. Floki, where do you think we should go? This bridge? We need to find this ship.
I think that making our way. Oh, I mean that's a great question. I think the temple is clearly, it seems to me like we're going to have to contend with that physical location at some point. So how do we want to play this? I think the bridge is clearly there for. I mean, it looks like a bridge. It looks like it's there to be taken. But how would you, boss man, like to play this? Do we, what's the?
And I couldn't, I put my hand on Chloroki's shoulder. I'm like, are you feeling okay now?
I'm good. I give him a thumbs up.
You don't feel that presence you were talking about before?
Oh, it's probably still around, but I was just using my the divine sense, and yeah, there was something very, very powerful in the vicinity.
I don't remember you telling me that you were a priest.
I'm not really a priest, more of a paladin, I guess. But, clerics, paladins,
a paladin?
same coin, different sides.
Would I know what a paladin is?
You can give
Holy
me
warrior.
an insight check or history check.
You said holy warrior, though. I think that kind of clears it up.
Yeah.
A holy warrior. You didn't tell me this, Chloroki. Although I could kind of tell. You're always trying to steer us on the right thing to do. You sort of remind me of an old friend of mine. What order do you serve, or what are you? I don't even. And he figuring looks around at the rest of the crew
He kind of reminds you of me. I always lead you on the right path, right?
I kind of get when Tulu says that, kind of give him this weird look, are you sure?
He just giggles.
What god do you serve?
Oh, what, DM, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm home right now and don't have many of my notes with me. What was the nature god? Was that? It was P something.
Pith. Yep. Pith.
Pith. Yeah, Pith. That one.
Pith, the nature god?
Yep.
Yeah.
Goddess.
The goddess Pith. Well, I'm sure that Fagrin knows who that is. I don't have my document up in front of me either.
You. Everyone can go ahead and roll a religion check.
I feel like Fagrin would know.
However, Floki doesn't need to. Floki knows exactly talking about.
22.
Religion.
22. Tulu, you know exactly who he's talking about. Back in your gnome village, Pith is very much the goddess who everyone in town worship. She is very well connected to druidic nature. The goddess of nature. She's also the goddess of the hunt. There's something very primal about her. Usually her shrines are made by travelers and nomads that make their shrines out of hides and skins of animals they have captured.
I see it now.
You know her to be, I think Tulu doesn't really care about who she is or what she has to offer, but you do know that in some of the stories and the stories that they tell around campfires and the legends that you've heard, that she can be very trickster-like, and I think maybe that is what he really attaches to, and he remembers the most about Pith and the stories that he's heard. Fagrin, what'd you get?
16.
You remember roughly when you're at Raventop in the shrines of Wanabi, that you remember seeing an altar with pelts on it. And in fact, you threw a mangy pelt to the shrine, and you felt a warm presence over you while you were at those shrines.
I am only vaguely aware of this goddess. What boons and requirements does she have of mortals? Is this perhaps her isle?
DM, I refer to you.
Yes, Clurky, you would know that.
Like Ross knows something, but I can't say it.
One of Clurky's only rules is that he is only allowed to defend himself and only attack when it is necessary. To attack defenseless things should only be done in hunt, in which case you must use the entire prey as something. So like if you were to kill an elk, you must harvest the antlers, the hooves, everything that you can take from the creature. Its bones should be ground up and turned into fertilizer. Like everything about your hunt should be used if you are going to kill for the sake of killing. Otherwise, at least self-defend. That would be the only true law that Pith has. The rest are mostly guidelines that vary from culture to culture.
Now, I will say, this being said, Clue has kind of taken a little, he's extended it to kind of defense of him and his allies. So, like, if he's getting ignored by some monsters attacking us, but it's attacking Floki or Fagrin or Tulu, he's going to go after it. Like, it's self-defense of him, his allies, or, like, other defenseless beings.
So, Cluroki and Tulu, you share this information about Pith?
Yes.
Okay. Cluroki, is this presence, then, that you felt here, is it related to your goddess? Have you been called here for something?
DM, was this presence I felt related to my goddess in any way, shape, or form?
Give me a religion check.
I'm religious. That's an 18.
In a sense where you didn't recognize it to begin with, but as soon as Fagrin says that, it clicks, and you feel this chill overwhelm your body. At the exact moment, you hear the cackling of monkeys all around you, just in a symphony of cackling and cawing. Everyone already has rolled initiative. Let's see here.
I'm sorry, Pith. I'm sorry.
Here, let's do
I
this.
shake my head at Fagrin.
I didn't want to die this way. Not by monkeys.
You see out of the shrubbery and trees nearby, you see these monkeys begin to flutter about, these winged creatures. You see them on every direction here nearby. Let's see. I went this, and I got to. Let's do. I forgot to roll for these. Let's do that now. That makes sense. Let's see, 6 there, and let's see. Oh, I didn't add their turn. That's why. Roll 20. There we go. That should work. Oh, I already did. They have a 21. That makes sense. And he's over here. He's on that layer. That's why he didn't show up.
And do we still have those temporary hit points?
Yes.
16. Okay.
Anyone who had the temporary hit points still has the temporary hit points.
What were the temporary hit points?
If you don't remember, just roll 2d6.
I do not remember.
I got
you got-
arrested, so I removed them.
Oh,
Yeah,
probably,
same.
You probably did, but I'm
What's that?
going to say that you still have them. if you already removed them, go ahead and re-add them. There we go. That's what I did.
Oh yeah, from eating.
Yeah, from eating magic food.
Yeah.
All right, hang on a second. This is what I need from Cindy. There we go. All right. So you see these creatures kind of jump up out of the foliage nearby. They bare their vicious fangs at you guys. You see some of them have like rocks in their hands at the ready. Floki, you are the first to act.
Oh my! I would like to insert Western hero here, and Eldritch Blast. You know what? Actually, the farthest guy from me. I should ask. I see 5 monkeys. Is that correct?
Yes.
I would like to blast the one in the top left.
Okay. I'm going to reveal a little bit more of the map, so you guys don't feel so confounded. All right, so you're going to blast the top leftmost one?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit.
I rolled a 15 and a 17 to hit.
All right, both of those hit.
You love to see it. All right, let's roll some numbers here. That wasn't amazing, but that's a total of 11 Eldritch Blast damage. I think that's force. Yes.
All right, a total of 11 between both rolls.
Yes.
All right, you watch as Floki just musters this energy, and you feel this pulse of energy as it flies through the air and pelts this monkey. You watch as it kind of gets knocked out of the air and falls into the water, and then splashes back up out of the water, kind of flopping its wings angrily. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I think... No.
Okay.
I think I end my turn.
All right. That leads to their turn. This one's going to come this way. This one's going to come this way. This one's going to come right for you. This one's also going to come for you. And this one is actually going to try to hide. Let's see here. All right. So this one you watch as it actually flutters away into the bushes. Let's see. That is 2 attacks on Kleroki. That is a 9 and a 15.
Neither of those hit.
All right, both of those miss. 2 attacks on Floki. That is a natural 1 and a 17.
The 17 hits.
All right, you will take 6 piercing damage as you feel one bite into your arm and just claw at your side. That is their turn. That leads us to Kleroki.
So magic sword, it's a +1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking my magic sword out, and I am whacking away at this guy here.
Okay. All right.
A 10 and an 18.
A 10 and an 18. The 10 will miss, but the 18 will hit.
And then I'm speaking the magic word
Okay.
for it. And what damage dice is it?
It should be a d6.
To be 6. Okay.
And you add your strength modifier.
Yeah. That would be a total of 9 damage, and its movement, it has to make a Constitution saving throw 13.
All right.
If it fails, its speed is reduced by 10.
It rolled a
And they
19.
have a disadvantage on all attack rolls until my next turn. Until the end of my turn. Or my next turn.
Okay, it rolled a 19. So does it have any effect if it passes?
No.
Okay. So you watch as Kuroki just jabs this blade into the monkey. This blue light kind of surrounds it. You watch as these crystals kind of come up. You hear the monkey kind of call out in pain. It like grabs the back of its own head and kind of rips off the parts that have frozen away. It looks incredibly injured, but still alive and really, really angry. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity attack and move over here.
All right, 2 opportunity attacks.
Wouldn't there only be one since I'm not moving out of space of this guy?
Oh, correct. You are right. Let me re-roll because I actually rolled both. So I'll re-roll 1. That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right. 3 piercing damage as you feel the one that you hit kind of grabs your wrist as you pull away, and it claws up your scales in reverse.
I shake it off and glare at it.
All right, you do that. Now it's Tulu's turn.
Okay, with that die that you just rolled a 22, was that your unlucky die from last time?
Apparently not. I have 2 identical dice. One of them is the bad one.
Okay, roll the other one for us next time if you don't mind.
Okay.
Which one did Kuroki injure?
Kuroki injured this one. The one that Floki hit is hiding over in the bushes.
Okay, so it's did you say it had disadvantage?
No, it passed the check.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and attack the one that he attacked right here.
All right, what do you
with
use to attack?
frostbite.
All right, so it's con save.
14. Yep.
He got a 13, so that passes. Or you pass. It fails.
Okay. 2d12. Yeah. 4 points damage, and it has disadvantage on this next attack.
4 points of damage. You watch as Tulu kind of comes up from your side, Kuroki, and he casts this cold spell. You watch as the cold on the side of this monkey completely freezes over the rest of the way. The monkey falls out of the air and hits the ground and shatters into a bunch of pieces of frozen monkey. That is its turn, or your turn. You have bonus action or anything else you want to do?
No, I'll stay where I'm at.
All right, Fagrin.
I want to move here, and I want to attack this with my pistol.
All right, go for it.
That's a 13 to hit.
13 will hit. Roll for damage. And you will also have the increased AC of your pistol. Don't forget that.
That is 6 damage.
6 damage. All right.
Is it still alive?
It is. You watch as you shoot this pistol. It sinks into its chest. The monkey, confused by this, starts picking at it. You watch as it screams out in pain, but it continues to fly in front of your face.
I put the pistol down. I already had the rapier out. We talked about that, and I want to try to slash it with my rapier.
All right, go for it.
That's a 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And 6 damage.
You watch as Fagrin comes up and carves this monkey, slicing its throat. It stops its screaming and plummets to the ground as well.
My AC is now 19 versus melee and 16 versus ranged.
Alrighty. That at the end of
and then
Fagrin's
I come over
turn,
here with the rest of my movement.
All right. At the end of Fagrin's turn, everyone can see the water ripples as something moves counterintuitive to the current. You watch as this ripple, like wave effect, kind of comes up and like a wake hits this bridge. And on the opposite side of the bridge, you watch as this massive serpent erupts from the other side.
Oh dear.
You hear it calls out to you, but not in a vocal form, but in your own minds. You hear it as it calls out, and it says, "Liars, tricksters, thieves!" And you kind of feel this like almost overwhelming presence. Everyone go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. It is a wisdom saving throw. I thought.
So that means we get to
Go ahead.
roll again, right?
Yes. You go ahead and roll.
Good, because I had a
I
natural
have to roll again.
I had a natural one.
No, because you rolled it right as I was saying it, so you can keep your
Dirty 20.
dirty 20. All right. Vagrant got a natural 20. Tulu, what'd you get?
What was it again? What kind of constitution?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
I thought
18.
since it'd be loud, it would be con saves, but I forgot that it's you in your head. It's wisdom.
18. Is it against magic? I have advantage, but
Yes. Go ahead and roll at advantage.
okay, still 18.
It's not a rapier though.
All right. I'm sorry. What did Kluwerke get? We already said it.
Dirty 20.
Oh, dirty 20. That's right. And Floki, what'd you get?
An 18, and Key, if applicable, got an 8.
Okay. Key is going to fail. Key would be afraid of this thing. Everyone else, you feel as if
Darn shame.
it is trying to frighten you. You are able to shake it off and stand your ground. That would be back to. Oh, I did add too many. I knew I added too many of those suckers. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, there we go. Now back to the Floki.
Do the flying monkeys seem to react to the serpent also?
No.
Okay.
Oh, they're working together. Flying monkeys and giant snakes. The alliance from hell over here. All right. I would like to cast Green Flame Blade.
Fantastic. So you brandish your weapon in green flame,
Which
and
is
you
a
make-
dagger. And
Nice.
I would like to attempt to stab the monkey immediately next to me. Which is a 7 to hit. The good news is Jake died.
Oh, I'm not dead. I might be lagging, but I'm here.
Okay, welcome back.
Which one did you want to hit? Do you want to hit the one between you and Vagrant, or do you want to hit the one on the opposite end?
The Vagrant one, yes.
All right, go for it.
I assume my 7 did not hit.
Your 7 did not hit, as it goes right between the monkey's legs. The monkey cackles at you and laughs.
I cry. But my turn is not ended. I would like to direct Key to take a shot at the snake. The snake seems scary.
All right, that is an attack roll on your end, correct?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll for that.
All right, let's see. Let me check my numbers. I know what they are. That's It immediately closes that, which isn't helpful. It's at disadvantage because she's afraid, which is slightly unfortunate, but not too unfortunate. That's a very large number. That's like 23 to hit.
23 will definitely hit. Which
All
I
right.
believe it does something, right?
It takes 1 damage, 1 piercing damage, and it must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
All right, hang on a second, because I gotta.
Wait, oh, that's a lie. DC 14. I forgot I'm great.
Okay. DC 14. It passes just barely.
I cry a little bit, so it takes 1 damage.
All right. 1 damage. That ends your turn.
And I end my turn.
All right. Sorry. Next is the monkeys. Oh jeez. 1 damage. Almost. I was trying to do I don't know what I did with Key's token. That's what I was looking for real quick, but it doesn't matter. We'll continue. The monkeys are going to go ahead and continue to attack. Let's see. This one is going to. Boop, 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 boop.
Clearly, I am the least dangerous of all potential targets and should be killed last.
Clearly. This one is going
I
to.
would like to impose disadvantage on one of the attacks with my protection style if they're attacking Floki.
Okay. This one is going to come out of hiding and attack Vagrant with advantage. That is a 16 to hit with melee. Did you say that hits or not?
It does not hit.
All right. It scratches, but it's not able to find you between your smoke. So one attack at regular, one attack at disadvantage. Attack at disadvantage is a 13 to hit.
That misses.
And the regular attack is a 19 to hit.
That just hits.
All right. That'll be 7 piercing damage as
Ow.
this monkey continues to bite its way across your arm. That is their turns. It is Kleropi's turn.
Does it cost only 5 movement to move diagonally?
Correct.
Okay. Ah, wrong place. I'm going to move there, and I'm attacking this guy
All right, go for it.
with my magic sword. That would be a 16 to hit.
That'll definitely hit. Roll for damage.
Oh, where's my...
When you leave, I say, no, don't leave me to the snake.
Oh, that's 2 damage. Actually, no, that's 2 plus... That's 4 damage.
4 damage?
Yeah.
And what weapon are you using? You're using your magic blade?
Magic sword, yep, that's for the first attack.
So it's 4 cold damage. And then it does a con save.
Yeah,
It rolled a 17.
it passes.
All right. Go ahead and do your second attack if you'd like.
Okay. .2 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Better. 7.
7. You just bring the sword down, and it cuts through the monkey, but instead of blood, you watch as ice crystals just kind of form around the wound. The monkey screams, and then it just plummets to the ground.
I make monkey noises back at it.
All right, give me a performance check.
Oh, I'm not performative at all. That's a 9.
A 9. You have not convinced the monkeys. They do not believe you were a monkey. It is now their turn. I'm sorry, it is not their turn. It is Tulu's turn.
All right. Tulu will move back to here,
Okay.
and we'll cast Frostbite on this one.
All right. Con save.
14.
Got a 7.
Okay. 6 points and disadvantage on this next attack.
Another one bites the dust from the cold magic. It freezes solid as it's clawing at the back of Fagrin's fancy coat. You watch as the feathers crystallize and turn to ice, and he dies. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
I tell you what, I'll actually move back over to here.
Okay. Well, that's going to lead us into Fagrin. Fagrin, go ahead and take an inspiration point for holding that sword for this entire time.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay. I'd like to. Would it be a minor action to yell something out? Try to talk?
No, you can do that. You can do that in addition to
Free
your turn.
action, as they say.
Yep.
You beast! Let us parley. There's no need for this.
It is not my will, but the will of her. She commands the beasts to do as they please.
And you hear him with like a hiss and a sizzle as you kind of try to communicate with this creature. As you look at it, you can see that the ridge of its eye has like a major wound. You can see that its right eye is gouged out, and at the tip of its brow, you see this large hook. This hook is the exact same shape as the hook on the post at the dock, as if it were a place to hang a lantern. But as you call it to the creature, it retorts to you. What else are you gonna do with your turn?
I'm going to run after it and try to ride it.
You're gonna run towards the giant beast and you want to try to mount it?
You said it has a hook, right?
The hook is like on the ridge of its brow as it's kind of rearing up like a cobra up out of the water.
So I have a feature here. It says expert knotwork.
Okay.
As an action, you may grapple a check against a creature within 5 feet. I can use a sailor's dice, and if I succeed, it is restrained.
Okay.
And I like sheathe my blade, and I take out the rope that Kloroki gave me in the match, and I'm going to try to actually lasso this thing and try to get it by that hook and ride it in.
All right. Regardless of grapple rules, what I'm going to call this is an opposed athletics check.
All right. I'm going to use my sailor die and my inspiration token.
All right. Go for it. It's beat a 19.
Let's see. The highest is 12. And I'm sorry, which check did you say it was?
Athletics.
12 plus 15. 15. 17. I don't think I can add any more because it says expert not work 1. Just want to make sure if I can do it, I'm on to. No, I don't think so. I think that's it. I think it's 17.
All right, you have a 17 against its 19. What happens is you like grab hold of it and begin to lasso your rope around the hook. You're able to anchor yourself to this creature, but it just writhes and you feel it like lift you up off the ground. You like have it I guess what happens is like you get your arm tied around this the creature's hook on its brow, and you hold on to it, but then it lifts you up. You're like, I have this thing stuck, and then it lifts you up off the ground. You are now 10 feet off the ground as it holds you upwards. Let's go ahead and mark you with this. And you just feel its peering eye on the opposite side stare at you. I'm going to say you still have a bonus action if you want to do anything with your bonus action.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot this this other thing. I'm gonna pull out my pistol. No, I sheathed my sword. So
I'm gonna allow it if you want to do it. It's gonna be a disadvantage anyway because this thing's like literally picking you up off the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I take out my second pistol of 3, and while I'm riding this thing, I try to shoot that monkey.
All right, shoot at disadvantage.
Okay, and then that's like a 22. So the lowest is 16 plus 7 is 23. 23 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
And that's 3d4. So that would be a 7 damage.
7. For a moment, you think you hit it in the back of the head, and then you realize that you just barely missed, clipping its wing. Severely damaging it, but it's still alive. That is your turn. Now it is the snake's turn. The snake stares at you with its peering eye, and it says,
"The promise has not been kept, sailor."
He's going to take his head and just slam it on the ground. Give me a strength saving throw.
18. 18.
All right, 18. You will take half damage. You will take 7 bludgeoning damage as you just plummets you against this algae. You feel the algae just surround you for a moment, and it rears up its tail up out of the water, and it's going to, as a bonus action, you watch as its tail opens up almost like a blooming flower, and it sprays out this poison gas towards Floki. Floki, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Great. 13.
A 13 will pass. So you're only going to take 6 poison damage. 6 poison damage. All right. And then also, as a minor action, it looks over to Floki and it says,
"Tricksters, liars, and thieves are not allowed. None of you have gone through the trials. None of you have taken the proper precautions."
And you get this strange sense of like offending this creature, but you're not quite sure of exactly what he's talking about. Floki, it is now your turn.
I do feel like I have offended, but I will still stab. I will cast Green Flame Blade.
All right, on the monkey.
On the monkey.
All right,
let me maybe hit this time. That's a higher number. That's a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Now I get to do things that are overly complicated. Okay, that's 4 piercing damage
All right.
from the dagger, and
I believe flames like erupt from it and go to adjacent creature.
which there isn't one, so the flames just kind of
Kind of
go off
upwards.
into the.
So
I was
you
gonna
watch
say
this,
go off into the water.
what happens is you stab into this creature, and the flames kind of erupt off of its wings, burning its wings away. You watch as the wings are just burned away until nothing but the thin, hollow bones are left, and the flames just corrupt all the way down its body and back into it, leaving nothing but a monkey skeleton as you were able to kill it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was fire damage involved too, but I guess I didn't have to go that far. I will. You know what? I'm gonna step back, and end my turn. I think I'm. Actually, I'll say maybe we shouldn't be here, and end my turn.
Right, Kuroki, it's your turn.
I'm gonna ask this creature what trials is it talking about? Never heard of any trials.
It peers back to you with its one eye, figure hanging off its head, and it says,
The trials of the Templars, of course.
and he just, like, you watch as he rears up as if he's about to slam Fagrin again. Tulu, it's your turn.
Oh,
Okay.
That's okay.
Oh, sorry. Did you have something you want to do, Kluroki?
I was gonna see if I couldn't help Fagrin.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna like try and use my extra weight to like anchor ourselves to the ground.
All right, he is 10 feet up in the air, so you'll have to make an acrobatics check to jump up and grab him.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll grab my special dice. My good dice. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you're able to jump up, leap, and grab hold of Fagrin's boots. What we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to do this another grapple check. Go ahead and give me an opposed athletics, but you'll have advantage since Fagrin's also there.
Okay. Oh, athletic.
With an 18, you're able to bring the creature down, and you kind of like grab hold with your offhand and pull the algae back. Some of the these like roots and vines kind of snap under the weight, but like that scene in Captain America where he brings the helicopter back in, you're able to pull Fagrin and then pull this massive creature downward. You watch as he kind of collects itself up against the algae, and its body just kind of squirms and writhes, and you hear it hiss loudly. You have a bonus action if you have anything you can do.
Believe I am, as a bonus action, I can cast Ensnaring Strike.
All right.
Actually, wait, no, doesn't work. Never mind.
Okay.
Nope, that's all. I'm done.
Okay. That would go to Tulu then.
Okay. Nobody is engaged with this creature. Like he's not locked on anybody right now, correct?
Well, what we have right now is Kluroki is holding on to the ground with one hand and holding on to Fagrin with the other. Fagrin is holding on to a rope which is hooked on the creature's head. So all three of them are kind of like on the ground in front of you guys.
Okay.
On this algae bridge as water's like rushing up from the left.
Well, I'll tell you what I was going to do, but see, this won't work because they're kind of connected to it. And I was going to change, shape change in wild shape into a ram, and use control water to use a whirlpool to suck him down. But they're connected to him, right? So they would be sucked down also.
Yes.
Okay. With all that, I'll cast Frostbite on him.
All right. Is that a con save?
Yeah, 14.
Okay. He rolled a 19, so he's gonna pass.
That's it. And
Alright.
with the bonus action, I'll cast Healing Word on. Who took all the damage? Fagrin?
I mean, Fagrin's taking a little bit, and
No.
Floki's taking a little bit, but everyone's doing pretty good so far.
Oh, okay,
This is my own blood. This is not someone else's blood.
Do you need healing?
I wouldn't mind it.
All right, I'll do. All right, I'll do. I'll cast
Floki, go ahead and take an inspiration for that. That's pretty funny.
Healing Word. Let me see. It's 2d4 plus 3. 2, 4, 7, 8, 9 points. 10.
89
10,
points.
10,
89
10.
points. Okay,
No,
10.
I said 8, 9, but it's actually 10.
All right.
All right. I'm almost fully healed. Thank you kindly.
Vagrant's back to you.
While I'm riding this thing, or on the ground with this thing, with Clericry with me, and I got a pistol in one hand, it's already been fired. I'm like, Beast, listen to me now. Let us go. We'll face these trials, and when you see us again, we'll have faced the trials.
Child of the Star, I take your offer. Now go.
I take the rope off of it, and I sheath my pistol, and I nod.
You watch as it rears up, and like super angrily just thrashes into the water, and water just spouts upward. And that ends combat.
Now, what did Fagrin say to him again?
I said,
He said, we're gonna go take the trials.
Okay.
and then when we see him again, yeah.
Tulu, make a perception check.
Perception. 17.
17. Everyone can see this creature just thrash back into water, and as Fagrin and Kluroki are gathering themselves and standing back up, you are the only one that sees it up in the sky above. You watch as this incredibly, like you thought that snake was big, you watch as this massive bird swoops over the water. This thing comes down and it thrashes nearby you guys, picks up a tree, uproots the tree, and everyone else, you watch as this tree kind of rips up out of the ground, and you hear it call outward and like screech as like an eagle would. Everyone give me a Constitution saving throw. Because this one is very loud.
It's the wrong dice.
Nat 20.
All right.
11.
All right.
6.
All right.
Loki and Key, if applicable, both got 19s.
All right. Kluroki, Floki, and Key all pass. So you will take half damage. You're going to take 6 thunder damage. Everyone else will take 12 thunder damage and be deafened for 1 minute. So this thing just comes up, rips up a tree, and you hear it screech crazy loud, deafening Fagrin and Tulu. You hear a ringing. Fagrin, you almost feel like someone fired a cannon right next to your head, how deafening loud it was. This incredibly large creature just flies by. Tulu, you get the strange sense that that creature was trying to grab you guys and missed. You don't know how a creature that big with eyes as sharp as it probably has missed you guys, but you get the sense that it was coming for you, and it will probably be back.
Oh, cool. Floki, by the way, I'm sorry I told you wrong on the healing. It wasn't 10, it was 7.
All right.
Okay, I like how it was 7, 8, 9, 10. That's just 7.
I looked at the wrong.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just.
And
All right.
I tell the group that I think that bird's going to come back for us here before too long. Did y'all see that pretty birdie up there?
Tulu's just screaming this at you, Floki.
I use my reaction to give Key resistance to thunder damage and survive. And then I would like to use my bonus action to dismiss her.
All right. You do so. She survives.
I did see that, and I grab a hold of, like, I pick Kloroki up. We're like next to each other, and I shake his hand, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, when we shake hands, I'm just gonna give you like 5 points of healing.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Kloroki, for saving my life.
I don't know how many hit points you lost, but I wasn't keeping track. But yeah, healing touch.
Listen, you know that in the Twilight's Revenge Company, you should never be ashamed of who you really are. You should have told us about your allegiance to this god.
While there's this really like heart-to-heart conversation going on, Floki just like comes over and taps people on the shoulders and waves his hand in front of Dragon's face. Says, "Hey, we should leave. There's a really scary bird."
Aye, let's go. And I look at Kloroki and be like, "Be open with the crew."
Klorka just tells him, he was like, I wasn't trying to keep it a secret, I just didn't see how it was relevant.
Well, it is now.
Yeah, apparently it is now.
Tulu looks at Floki and kind of pats, you got a nudge and he says, hey, these two are going to talk for a while and that bird's going to come back. Let's get out of here. I'm gone. See ya.
They look tastier than we do, too. I'll run off after Tulu.
Alright, you guys kind of head back into the jungle. We're able to find the rut again. Where are you guys going to go? What are you guys going to do?
All in the rut.
Yeah, I mean, it's one-dimensional.
Do we have any clue what these trials are?
I think the Templars might know. Just like a wild guess there, but I think we know who to ask.
Should we just go up to that stone structure, or is it too far away? If it's not too far away...
You can definitely go back there.
Why don't we just like roll on up there and be like, hey guys, what do we do?
I think we were on, if I'm understanding the geography correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, but we were going there and there was a river with a snake.
You were going towards the temple and towards where you would have presumed the boat to be, further away from the watchtower where you saw the Templars. The Templars were towards the bay. You guys were heading the opposite direction. You guys are a mile away from it, but you guys know exactly where it is. So
sorry, but I did say stone structure, so I know what you mean, Caleb. I meant the other stone structure.
Okay.
The other stone structure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So there is a watchtower, which is made of stone. There's also a temple, which is made of stone. Which direction are we going? Temple or watchtower?
To the stone structure.
They're both stone structures.
I slap finger.
Oh, Tulu's going, oh, my craziness is worn off on them.
We're going to the watchtower.
Watchtower.
Right?
Everyone, watchtower.
I thought we were going to the temple. That's all
I
right.
think that a snake will attempt to eat us if we go towards the temple. I think that's the moral of this story. Also, maybe a bird.
Floki would have the right intuition. You guys march your way backwards up towards the dock and head back towards there. It just takes a couple hours. I'd say it's probably like 4 in the afternoon at this point. Has anyone eaten today?
I was just thinking we should eat.
Yep.
I assumed we had breakfast.
Yes, but it's. I mean, I'm gonna say that it's been. You guys have had quite the workout, hiking into the jungle in the heat, the humidity, fighting the creatures, and making your way back. I'm just thinking, I'm not really satisfied and still full after a long hike. And I'm I'm not out of shape either. Anyway, if you all don't have food, you can share your rations. I assume if someone has food on them. If not, we're gonna have some situations.
Does anyone need food? No.
I am in possession of rations.
I eat 1 ration of 3.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Clue's food, and he grimly eats like a piece of hard jerky and just looks kind of disappointed at it.
All right.
Because he got used to like the magic food that we had, and now he's like eating like cold hard jerky and hard tack and washing it down with some water.
Are you gonna eat that meat? You seem like you kind of don't want it. If you don't want it, I'll take it off your hands.
No, it's mine. You can't have it.
All right, I'll let it go this time. But if that was fruit, we might be taking this outside.
Right. You guys continue into the jungle. traveling quite a ways. Eventually, you come up to this area where you watch as the rut kind of dips down, like almost like a cliff facing into a bay. If you go to your left, up on a ridge, you see tents and large trebuchets, people in armor. They look like kind of like a blend between what you recognize the Templars to be and also just regular like soldiery guard type. And then to your right, you can see this stone structure, which appears to be like a very, very small lighthouse or guard tower or outpost, whatever you would like to call it. And from this distance, you don't happen to be recognized or seen yet, but you see three guards. You see one of them leaning up against the tower and two about 10 feet away from it. They seem to be like, one seems to be kneeling, the other one seems to be sitting with their legs crossed, seem to be gambling.
Am I still deafened?
No, that only lasts a minute. And at this point, you guys have been hiking and eating, and yeah, it's long gone.
If we were hiking and eating, it sounds like okay, never mind.
Has it been an hour since the fight?
Yes.
Would you say?
Yes.
Would you say that an hour spent in a pocket dimension is sufficiently long for a short rest?
Yeah. Yeah. She.
Would you say that a short rest would be?
Yes.
I don't know. She doesn't have hit dice, but could I give her 3 hit points back?
You can roll a d4.
All right.
As if she has hit points, because that makes sense to me.
That's a 1, but I'll take it, and I will resummon Key.
All right.
Which is just an action.
Okay.
I stride out into the open to openly wait. I say, "Listen, everyone. Perhaps you should tarry back in quiet. I'm going to try to parley with these men. I might need you to have my back if things don't go well." Can you guys stealth?
I'm going to attempt to stealth.
Everybody's like perfectly stealth, and then Kleroki's like a cat, like this huge dragonborn thing just behind a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can try. I can't make any promises.
You got this, Clue. You got it. And then I stride out into the open boldly and say, "Gentlemen."
One of them playing cards appears to be a thin human man who has his helmet at his side, peers over his shoulder. He looks over his shoulder at you and then turns back to his game, and then you hear him calling, "You can get down now. If they wanted to kill us, they would have already." And then you hear a thump as directly behind you, you see this tiefling woman with a bow at her hand, and she kind of releases an arrow slowly so that she doesn't fire it at you. And you didn't even notice her right there beside you. And she kind of looks at you up and down, and she says, "What are you here for?"
"We're just out for a stroll. Did you happen to catch the last sheesh match?"
"We're not into games here. Well, at least not all of us." And she kind of looks at the two gambling, and she looks back at you and she says, "What do you mean we? Did you forget your crew?"
Yes. Well, I've gone off a bit on my own. I happened to see you here while I was out, and you're Templars, are you not?
"Yeah, we are," she says nonchalantly, and she kind of puts her bow back over her shoulder and starts walking towards the tower as if like dismissive of you.
I walk toward everybody and I say, like people playing cards and stuff, and I say, I'm not from this island, but I've heard of the Templars. Could you tell me more about it?"
The one thin man puts his cards down, takes a deep sigh, stands up, picks up his helmet beside him and kind of holds it against his hip as he looks at you over and says, "Look, it's been a long time since we've went through the motions here, but if you're up for the trials, we can take you through them. But we have to know if you really want to do it or not. Just don't waste our time." And you hear the one that's been leaning against the tower. He takes a deep sigh, He's like, I thought we weren't gonna have to do this anymore. They said people were done. I thought this would be an easy gig. And the one that was gambling with the other stands up. You can see that his skin is blue and his eyes are like a deep black color. And he stands up and he says, well, if they want to do it, they want to do it, Del. There's nothing about it. That's why we're here, after all. He stretches out his hand and goes, hi, name's Kane.
It's nice to meet you, Kane. I'm Fagrin.
Fagrin. This here's Atlan. And he points at the skinny guy. And then he points at a slightly larger man that was leaning against the tower. And he says, that's Del. And then he points up at the tiefling woman who's like climbed her way up the tower and has already kind of perched herself up on top of the tower. He goes, and that there's Sorrow. And we've been stationed out here for a while. Some of us are here because it pays. Some of us are here because it's quiet. But if you're here to take the trials, we'll put you through them.
It does sound interesting. I'm always up for a challenge myself. But as I said, I'm not from Lucherna myself. So, what leads one to become a Templar? What's the organization about?
Well, have you ever heard of Dothmir?
Ah, Dothmir. Aye, of course. The god, medicine, and graves. I believe I saw something to him in the city of Clangton.
Yes, there are some devout worshippers in the city. We're not, I guess you could consider us worshippers. We're more just, we're paid to be here, some of us. Most of us, we don't really believe in this kind of thing, but it is what it is. Well, Dothmir, you know, he's the god of medicine, graves, and whatnot. He's also the god of life. And if you seek true life, you kind of see like he falls into this really rehearsed like spiel of describing that Dothmir is the pathway to life. You can feel rejuvenated by his ways. He kind of like gives you this really religious rehearsed, like almost as if he's reciting scripture towards you. He describes it all to you, and he says, now whether or not you believe what you hear, you'll have to pass the trials if you wish to see the candles with your own eyes. He says also, have you received your sign already?
I'm afraid, as I said, I'm not from Lucherna. A sign.
Yeah. He points down at the deck of cards they were playing with. Give me a history check real quick, Fagrin.
16. Wow. Highest history check I've ever done.
With the 16, you look at these cards, and they remind you ominously of the exact cards that Calhawk found underneath the city of Kythus. All these cards just strung about. They seem to be gambling with them. He kind of lays them outward on a table, and he says, I don't know if you recognize these. Some call them tarot, others call them taroka. Playing cards, simple playing cards. However, in the Church of Dothmir, each card resembles a significance about oneself. One cannot travel to the plane of Dothmir or ever see the presence of his candles without being assigned their sign. He sits down, he explains, there are 78 signs altogether, but once one is assigned, you cannot be assigned a new one until it is your birthday. So if you received a sign before, it's very important that we do not assign you one. If you were assigned the wrong sign, he kind of chuckles, and you hear Sorrow say, just shut up with that nonsense, she shouts down. And he kind of shrugs, and he says, I'm just doing my job. But if you were assigned the sign that does not belong to you, it could cost you your life, sailor.
I mean, Calhawk and I had not seen these cards for years.
Right.
So you can just draw a new card every birthday or every year?
On your birthday, you can draw a new card.
Oh. Do I remember what my card was? Because I remember
Give me a history check.
I have my notes. I can try to find it. I actually have the old Mythic Isles notes. 11. Got them right. Yeah.
With an 11, you would remember that you were assigned, or you don't remember being assigned anything, but you remember whenever you drew a card before, it was the card of the star. And you remember feeling a longing to be back at the sea, and you remember a feeling that the sea wanted you back as well. But it also jogs your memory because the serpent called you Child of the Star as he smashes you into the algae.
You've become muted.
Okay.
I remember this. I would be interested in these trials, but I think the rest of my crew would as well.
He looks over your shoulder and doesn't see anybody else. And he kind of looks down at his buddy. He kind of shrugs and he's like,
Sometimes they're not all sane once they get out here.
and he kind of looks at you and he's like, yes, sir, you appear to be alone.
Yes, I went off on by myself, you see. I can go get my crew and be right back.
Okay, you do that. He kind of doesn't believe you, and they just kind of go back.
Saunter off into the woods,
you see them kind of reshuffle their cards and go back to playing whatever game they're playing.
All right, hey everyone, listen. Amicable folks, these Templars, just out for some coin like us. Not overly of the Templary sort, and I look at Kleroki when I say that. They can actually guide us on these trials that the serpent spoke of.
So you know what the trials are?
Aye, the Templars, we didn't go over it. I wanted to bring you all into the conversation.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, then we bring the whole crew back. Wait, and I turn around. I'm like, actually, it's kind of awkward. We should probably wait about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's just wait, so you actually walk back somewhere to get your crew. Just walk in and walk right back out. You got a whole host with you.
Yep. Can we take a short rest?
Just I'm so tempted to say no, but yeah, go ahead, go do it.
I mean, it's fine.
What is it with my dungeon masters and hating letting me take a rest?
It's not hating to take a rest. I thought short rest was half an hour.
I thought it was an hour. Actually, I thought it was like a whole hour.
Yeah. Oh, then yeah. Okay. Well, if the rules have my back, then no, you cannot.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, I couldn't remember what it was. Is 15 minutes enough time? I was trying to think. I was I don't think it is.
We could wait an hour if we want.
If you want to wait an hour, you can.
This was my thinking, and then tell me what you think. Okay. I thought it all kind of made sense because, okay, here they're not very far away, and then I walk, and then I'll get there, and I'm like, oh crap! If I just turn around and walk back, they're gonna be like, yeah, you were there. Now, I'm assuming that Sorrow already knows about us, but the others don't. I don't know. It just seemed weird, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's fine. If you guys want to wait an hour in the bushes, you can do so.
We can chill and stuff. I might reload my weapon instead of doing hit points anyway. Hit die.
Does everyone agree to wait in the bushes?
I mean, we walked for so long anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys.
I'm down with it.
Go ahead and take a short rest then. Roll hit dice and do other mundane tasks.
Smoke them if you got them.
And Floki becomes fully
We
powerful
do need
again.
to get drugs. I don't lose anything that I got. Oh, I can try to heal Key again.
So
hey, that worked.
I can't use a hit die and reload my weapon too, right? I need to probably pick one.
I don't think so, but if you want to spend sailor dice, I can let you use them as hit dice if you'd like to do that. I think that's cool. That
It is
might be
cool.
a feature that I add.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to reload a weapon. So I have 2
Okay.
now. Okay.
You do that. All right, everyone kind of waits around in the bushes for an hour, kind of smacking at the mosquitoes that kind of flurry by.
Oh, I hate those.
The humidity kind of makes you sweat a little bit. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon at this point.
I miss the sea.
I feel that as well. Well, is everyone ready? Oh, I'm so stiff. Oh, age is getting to me. Oh. All right, here we go. And I walk out towards the...
All right. You walk back and you get the same dismissive, almost unacknowledgeable response from the mall.
It's...
Kane,
oh,
Kane
sorry.
stands back up and brushes himself off. Kind of stands upright, as a soldier would at attention as you guys kind of approach. He's kind of trying to present himself a bit better this time around with a bigger company. And he says, "Welcome. I assume you all are here for the trials. If you are, I need a verbal confirmation from you."
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, here at your service.
These are my my crew, the lieutenants and officers of my small merchant company. This is Floki and Tulu and Kloroki. Tulu,
And this one. And who's this one?
Tulu, Floki, Kloroki, Tulu.
That's all.
Yeah.
What about her? He points at Key.
He's invisible.
Yes, she is.
Oh.
And I look around. I'm like, right.
You all didn't.
It's one of the trials. Yes.
No, did you all know you have a Glabauterman? There's a Glabauterman right there on this one's shoulder.
What now?
I'll snap my fingers and banish her to a pocket dimension.
There, I swear she was right there. And you watch as the other two kind of stand up and almost like put their hands on their hilts.
Easy.
What is your purpose here? You all are here to take the trials, are you not?
Aye.
Yes.
No more witchcraft, no more sorcery.
Okay.
No sorcery, nothing.
He looks at you, Floki, and he says, "What are you up to?"
Loki looks incredibly flustered. I'm not up to anything. I'm here to take the trials and hopefully learn what the trials are. I'm a little out of my depth, to be honest here.
You walk amongst your crewmen with a Glabauterman and do not let any of them know of her presence?
I don't even know what that word means.
I look at Floki and I'm like, "Oh, what's he talking about, Floki? Do you? Oh,
I've-
a Klobottoman. What?
I've
what?
never even heard of a phlebotoman.
Vagrant, give me a history check. If you're there. If you're not there, that's okay. We'll wait.
Imagine this is a vagrant experience. Every once in a while, he just kind of like stares off into space.
Yeah, he's sitting there trying to count, and he's just like staring off into the horizon.
Sorry, I'm back.
All right. I need you a history check over you.
Sorry. Here we go.
It's okay.
You missed all the phlebotomy.
The phlebotomy. It's 2.
A 2. Never mind.
As it should be.
Yeah, as it should be. You have no idea.
And he's still staring in space.
What he says, Klabauterman.
Oh,
K-L-A.
a Klabauterman. A kobold. A German mythical creature. A Klabauterman.
So Ross
Man,
knows.
Ross is over
Vagrant
here
apparently-
rolling 20s and Vagrant's rolling 2s.
Yeah, Vagrant's rolling 2s while Ross is rolling 20. You have no
I'm
idea.
just excited, sorry.
Yeah, Vagrant has
It's
no
a very
idea what-
naval thing.
It is a very naval thing. So you have no idea but I think Floki, give me an insight check.
Insight. Boy, sometimes I'm insightful. And today is not one of those days. That's an 11.
With 11, you don't know what he means by that, but you get the inclination that he was referring to a spirit. And it jogs the memory of the amulet that I give you, the one that is inscribed by Salem that says, "Where there are ghosts, there are eyes also." And you notice as you look at this man who's he's donned in green painted armor. He has blue skin and these deep black eyes. As he looks at you, you get this strange sense that he can see spirits.
I have connected all of these things, but the amulet point kind of confuses me, and so Floki sort of goes from looking completely flustered to looking confused and away from people.
Okay. But he kind of looks to the rest of you, and he's like, "These trials are meant to test your mettle, test your strength as a crew, test your unity, test your strength with yourself. I find it hard to believe that you guys could trust yourself. How do you trust this man as he brings hauntings aboard your ship without your acknowledgement?"
Why, that would never happen. We all signed in at accords, you see. We would never hide things from each other like that.
He kind of just looks at all of you.
Yeah, like every one of them have Tulu's face except
Tulu,
me. Like they're all like, and
Tulu,
I'm like,
Kluroki, and Floki. Every one of you, give me a deception check.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
Can I use my inspiration?
You may use your inspiration.
That's an advantage, right?
Yes.
I don't use
I
inspiration
could-
nearly enough.
I could use my inspiration, but this natural one's telling a story, and I want to let it.
Well, that didn't really help me. That's a 15.
Oh, sorry, what'd you get?
15.
15. Tulu, what'd you get?
a natural 20 for a 21.
Tulu, he looks at you and you're able to bite your lip and he doesn't notice anything about you. But as he looks at Kluroki and he looks at Floki, he says, "It just so happens that the first trial of the 3 trials is the trial of truth. This island has a strange way of revealing traitors, liars, thieves, smugglers, and any others who wish to break laws. We cannot
I just kind of
advance.
mutter to myself. That's not the first time I've heard that. Like, I just mutter that to myself.
We can advance only if you are honest with each other."
As I
Yeah,
said,
look
we are already in an agreement. When we set off from port, we agreed together that we would leave no secrets on the ship, on deck, with each other. All secrets would be left ashore.
Well, I'm afraid, sailor, that you may have agreed to it, but these here, and he just looks at Kluroki and Floki.
Whoa, okay.
They're not living up to their word.
I want to know what secret. Cause I don't know what secrets I'm hiding. To be completely honest with you.
I'll focus. Like, I get a little offended. Say, hardly. I am able to use magic. That is not a secret. It is known. And I like to be a little. I like to be a little tricksy. Have a few cards up my sleeves, but the gist of it is all, well and out there. And it's. I'd never betray my comrades and compañeros. My crew is my crew.
Aye. Why, we signed an agreement together, Tane. You see, any past allegiances, there are no unknown allegiances, nothing that is trying to hunt anyone down. There are no secrets among us. Not among us. Perhaps from us to you, to be fair. For that is the life we live. But not among us.
He kind of shrugs and he's like, if you all aren't honest with each other and honest with me, you will probably get eaten. But that's okay. That's not my concern. All I can do is give you the instructions. And he kind of sits down. He kind of spreads these cards back out again. What are you gonna say, Blue?
No, I was just gonna say, ask whatever questions you want to know, and I'll answer truthfully and honestly. Any lie I held back is not one that I intended to. That's all I said.
He looks at you and he believes you, but he kind of looks at you like someone who's working at customer service, and he's like, "I can't reveal your secrets for you, for I don't know them."
I was kind of saying this to the rest of the crew, but yeah.
What is your name?
Bluroki?
Do you have a last name?
What is your quest?
What
He
is
does.
your favorite color?
Mason cannot pronounce the last name I gave myself.
That's okay. Go ahead and try, because you have to.
Big brain moves.
That's fair.
This is what I get for using a random name generator. Yeah. Give me a second. Stretch Dandian. Stretch Dandian.
Alright, Tristan, you're in.
What is your quest?
Well, originally I was just trying to flee the Green Blades.
The what?
The Green Blades.
Why?
Because they wanted to kill me.
What? What?
Yeah.
It's just...
They caught me smuggling some people out of a war zone, some refugees. They did not take kindly to that. Those are the people you saw with me. So we ran away. We didn't pay their toll or whatever. They didn't really like that, and they've been following me ever since.
Kuroki.
You watch as Kane walks up to you. He puts his hand on his shoulder. He goes, "There you are, brother. Was that so hard?"
No.
Well, Kuroki, you know that in our accords the penalty for this is marooning. But perhaps we can just keep it between us. Just here, today. Although I suppose that would be a secret, too. This is a tricky thing, Clue. At least it's just you. At least it's just you, Clue. And the rest of us, we're all honest with each other. And we can see this through together.
I kind of snorted that.
And Kane's eyes dart to Floki.
My eyes dart to Tulu.
Tulu, give me another deception check against Kuroki, and Kuroki give me an insight check.
Oh shit. 1. Plus 1, 2. I rolled natural 1.
Can you beat a 2, Kuroki?
What am I rolling? Insight?
Insight.
Oh, you said my deception. Right.
Yes, your deception. Does that change the modifier? Make it like a 3 or 4?
No.
Okay.
Well, guess what?
What'd you
I
get?
rolled incredibly poorly,
What'd you
and
get?
I got a 4.
A 4. That beats it. So you look at Tulu and you see just like a single bead of sweat drip off the side of his brow. You watch as Kane just like takes a deep sigh and kind of sits at this table, and he says, "You all must continue, unless you like to be eaten."
I have no desire to become someone's food, or something.
And he gestures to you and goes, "You have already cleared your chest, so you may take your sign, unless you have already been assigned a sign."
As far as I know, have not been assigned a sign.
All right. He kind of lays these cards out on the table, and he says, "Choose one by your heart's desire, and let it reveal your sign. That is the one you choose." All right. Let's see here. This one moves to the back. He reveals it, and he can what you can clearly see, the card has a depiction of a tower, and it says the tower at the bottom of it. The card depicts this massive explosion at the top of a tower. It says, the symbol of the tower. The tower represents the universe as a whole. This energy you see at the top of it reveals a moment in time, a experience that will be very powerful, change your life forever. This could be one in the past and one in the future. Usually it means both. The symbol of the tower is one of power, of strength. You are assigned the sign of the tower.
Interesting.
He looks to Floki and Tulu, and he says, he looks at Tulu and he says, if you feel that you have revealed all there is to hide, you may also take a card.
What happens if we don't reveal everything?
I think he made that kind of clear. You get eaten.
Yes, Radoka does not take liars very easily.
Man, Vagrant, I'm sorry. I didn't read that accord that we signed very well, and I didn't know that I was supposed to tell you that I got people following me too.
Dulu!
I didn't know. I got a pretty lady hunting me.
No.
And the pretty lady and a Prince of Harkenwind, you know, they told me to take this. Well, they told me to take this wand and give it to the prince, but you know, they didn't tell me when I had to give it back to him. So I figured I'd just take it for a while and make sure it's all good and dandy, and then I'll take it back to him later. So I really wasn't breaking any of their rules, but they may be after us right now because they're probably wanting that thing.
Oh, Tulu. Oh, gods. The sea. Will the past never leave us? Will we never get away? Well, and then I go over to Floki and I put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, at least another sailor. I know that it's the seas you love, Floki, like me. Why, I know that you use magic, and this man doesn't understand you. But at least there are two of us.
Kane just kind of stands up and says, that feels much better, doesn't it? Small one.
Sure. Okay, if you say so.
You may come. Pick any card. Let it reveal your sign.
I'll pick this one. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Okay.
This one.
All right. Let's see. Move to the back. It's funny because he looks at it. He looks at you. He looks at it. He looks at you. He looks at it. And he says, this is the symbol of the moon. The sign of the moon. But it is reversed. The moon is a symbol of secrets, of great depth. But in reverse, it means the opposite. It means that you have been cleared, that there are secrets revealed not only to yourself, but to others and beyond. Not only does this mean that you have revealed your secrets here today, but that you will reveal greater secrets that the world has ever known. You have the reversed moon as your sign.
Okay. Hey. I kind of snicker, thinking to myself, I am a Circle of the Moon druid too. I didn't say that out loud. Reversed moon.
He looks at Floki again, and he says, please, do not doom the rest of your crew out of whatever pious or pride keeps you to hide away your secrets. You have revealed that you are magical. Yes, I think that is very apparent by the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you move about. But I saw that cloud of metal. I know you are hiding things from your crew. You should reveal them here. out in the open?
I mean, I can answer any questions, but man, I've lived a life, and I haven't exactly. Do you want me to like tell my whole life story here? There's been a lot of things that I don't know. I don't think they're secrets, but other people don't know them.
Whatever you feel is important.
Important. All right. Well, let's see. Few. Let me think. Starting points. The least important one, clearly, is the book. Capital B book. On the ship. And it laughs. Which I'm under the impression books rarely do. And I'm very convinced it would attempt to kill me if I ever let it laugh for a particularly long duration of time. And I haven't... No one else has ever opened it. I don't think it's very important, but that's a thing there that's out there. And then let's see. I've run with a few crews prior to this, but I have no outstanding allegiances. So I think I'm in breach of the contract. And so far as I'm aware, I think, I'm great at this paperwork thing. There was a crew of, well, back in the olden days, a while back, I may have been a pirate. Among the aforementioned green blades. And I'll readjust the bandana on my arm, which I assume slips down over that tattoo every like 5 minutes.
Yeah, revealing
So, like,
a very very partially hidden symbol of the Green Blade Pirates, similar to the flags that were hanging in the Coliseum of the Sheesh match.
Imagine that's the worst kept secret ever, because I assume that just always slides down.
Right.
But, and then, like I says, then I got out because of my patron, my lady, who gave me the magical powers that I wield. She offered me a way out of the Green Blades, and I took it, and I took some of my friends out. And that's my crew, my guys. But then I ran with another crew for a little while. That's where I picked up the red herring. And we found it just like in a cave. I think the old crew had perished, and it got it fixed up and out in the seas. And that crew was a nice couple of guys, a few cultists, but I don't judge. And we were hunting down a gnome fellow, not a dangerous guy. I'll leave his name out of this. I don't think that's a secret. That's a privacy thing. But he was in need of rescuing, or something, and we went and we kind of sort of rescued him, and we found him in an underground lair filled with ancient gods. I'm a little rusty on the details now. I believe they're from before the flooding of the world. They were like warlords who turned themselves into gods, and we killed one, this crab guy. Right? There's this crab god. It was actually pretty easy. And this crab god was in the possession of what I believe to be a mythic shard, which is now in my possession. And and then we kind of rescued the gnome and murdered a lot of people, of course, soap pirates. And then the cultists went off to do cultist things. Great guys, But I took the red herring and joined up with you folk. And that's most of the recent story. That's the last, year or so. It's been an eventful year.
Figuring after he's listened to all this, before it even finishes, he's taking his hat off and he's slumped down in a rock nearby. And he's looking down and he's like, you have a book, a spirit within it. You don't fully understand. It's on our ship with our crew. You have a mythic shard, a power of the gods, one of the most powerful things that can be found in this sunken world. And you serve some spirit or god I've never heard of or understood. And I don't even know who it is now. I had a friend once. We sailed together for years. He served a power that we didn't know or understand. I was driven at the time by a lust for revenge. So I would have done anything for the power necessary to bring that about. And so, I guess I was okay with him consorting with this power that we didn't know. And I'm afraid it may have killed him. And so it's spelled very clearly in our accords that the penalty for that is death. And I look around at everybody and I say, I was wrong. I thought that we could leave the world behind us. But I see that it's followed us right here, and this is still the same world. We can do these trials and find Rhonda. I don't wish to kill you, as it is in the Accords. Perhaps we should part ways, and you should take the red herring when we get back. We're 11:35, is that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I understand. We're almost done here. I understand. We're getting there. Real quick, both Floki and Fagrin. Actually, around the house, everyone take an inspiration real quick before I forget. Everyone take an inspiration. But Kane stands up. He puts his hand on your shoulder, Fagrin, and he says, "This is only the first trial. There are 2 more trials remaining. It's only going to get more difficult from here. I can see the strain you're facing. The reality is, these men aren't who you thought they were. But I tell you, there are further devils within to be revealed. If you don't wish to continue, it is fine to back out now. But after this point, you must continue all the way through. Do you wish to proceed, sailor?"
We agreed to find this person who's missing. We think that she may have went to one of these candles. I aim to see it through to the end.
He nods. And he says, "And you have received your sign already?"
Aye, the star, I suppose it was. Something like that.
Ah, sounds right. Sounds fitting for a sailor of your stature. And he looks over to you, Floki, and he says, "Well, any more skeletons to get out of the closet, or do you feel relieved?"
I think those are the big ones, but I don't feel relieved at all. Kindly go fuck yourself, and, yeah.
I understand that you can feel exposed and very vulnerable at this point, but you must understand it is very important, as this is the trial of truth. You cannot hide things, especially those of spiritual nature, from your allies. Your closest friends, they must know about who you are, who you truly are, and not hide any aspect of yourself.
He'll say, I'm me. And I always have been. And I always will be. Nothing has or will change that.
But you don't understand. You are you, but you're also a part of this crew. You are a member. And he looks down and notices you're like sextant and spyglass on your hip. He goes, navigator. You are in charge of much more than you realize, navigator. Whenever you're ready, you can take your card, but only if you feel ready.
I'll pick up the one to the left and slightly up of the one that Tulu picked up.
I'm sorry. To the left and slightly up? You mean this one?
Nope. Down and to the right for that. Yep,
one?
that guy.
All right. To the back. He looks at it. Looks at you, and he says, "Ah, the magician, but it's in reverse. The magician is a trickster, a master of elements, one that has every piece of the puzzle he desires. But yours is in reverse. It seems you are not up to any trickery, but you are honest. But you also are missing something you need, whether you acknowledge it or not." And he kind of gestures to those around. He says, "Maybe your allies are that piece you are looking for. I do not know, for only he knows. But you have the sign of the reversed magician." And he looks at all of you and he says, "Well, you've all received your signs. We have all been truthful. We can move on to the second trial." And that is where we'll end for the evening.